China shop. I want to be a little critical of Trump. I'm trying to be positive. I'm just not sure how tariffs make America great again. Okay, I see that the U.S. government would make money from increasing the price of imports. So if they put a 25% tax on cars and a car costs 10 grand, now it costs another 2,500 more, so that's 1,250. That's not good for taxpayers. Yeah, the government gets 2,500 bucks, but we don't see that. So basically, tariffs are inflationary. Now, if Trump said something like, listen, I'm going to abolish federal income tax and we're going to pay for the government through tariffs, that would be different. And tariffs, if we think about it, tariffs were invented probably, I'm almost certain of it, before income tax, because federal income tax was at World War II, and tariffs have existed for hundreds of years. So tariffs were a way to raise revenue for the federal government without taxing the people. Taxing the people has always been a difficult thing. Collecting it and, like, well, you're taking people's money. So when you take people's money by force, that's a type of robbery. And look at the Boston Tea Party. America went to war for our independence over a 2% tax. And here we are being taxed over 50%. I'm trying to be as positive about this as possible, but I don't think Trump is framing the tariff correctly. And if he doesn't frame it correctly, then he's basically increasing taxes on people. So he's lying. Is he intentionally lying? Maybe not, because he's so delusional. Yeah, tariffs are okay if there's no federal income taxes. That's the only way the government can fund itself, by increasing the price of, it's still a tax on the citizens, because if we buy something from another country and it's got a tariff on it, then we don't get to get it at the best price. We have to pay this taxation. The government's got to pay for itself somehow. However, we don't agree. Like, this is the big problem in America is a lot of Americans are upset with the bloated government that we have. We have more government than we need. They're not doing their job. We don't even know what they're doing. We've got redundancies. We've got these. Anyways, we can. That's the subject for another video. But I think I've heard half of the jobs in America are somehow part of the government. I feel these tariffs are. It's a half-baked idea. The world had a balance. The world maybe wasn't going as smooth as it could. However, these tariffs are making it's disruptive. And I'm not sure it's going to have the long-term positive effect that Trump is hoping for. What are Trump's long-term goals? What are his long-term ideas? That dude could be dead in a year. Like, is Trump on a murder-suicide? Is he just going to be a bull in a china shop? And Americans are the china? And the shop is America? and the bull is Trump. Like, that's how it feels. It feels rambunctious. It feels destructive. And is it just to own the liberals? Also, these wars. Trump with Gaza. Like, what was that on the 10th day? He says he's going to turn Gaza into the Mediterranean, or the Riviera of the Mediterranean. Well, he should have campaigned on that because nobody would have voted for him. Oh, yay, I'm voting for Trump. Why are you voting for Trump? Well, he's going to turn Gaza into the Riviera, and that's really important to me as an American. Forget good schools and roads and less corruption. I want change in the Middle East. I want Gaza to be the Riviera. Nobody said that. This is another example of Israel hijacking or everything. Anybody taking money from AIPAC, American Israeli Political Action Committee, is selling their soul to Israel. I'm talking in circles. Why can't we just have adults in government? Why do we have to pretend like Israel is not influencing our political process? Why do we have to pretend like Israel is innocent? They're not. And the internet, Israel doesn't recognize the international criminal courts. Everybody else does. Well, I'm not going to recognize speed limits anymore. Like who gets to either we're a country of laws or we aren't. Either we're a global community of laws or we aren't. The international courts. Well, if Israel is not going to recognize the international court, then we should not give Israel one penny. No more of these 1 penny things that cost 3 cents. You're not going to get any more Israel until you recognize the international criminal courts. Hey, CGI Seagulls, thanks for your help there on Twitter promoting me for governor. And good morning, Raisin. Well, thank you, Siegel. If I am governor of California, if I get elected, and then I put to vote that California becomes its own sovereign territory, we might be able to lead the world by example of how it should be done. Nothing is written in stone. Everything is Play-Doh. Everything is clay. We can shape the world any way we want because they're sure doing it any way they want. Raisin, I know you're being facetious. Israel's our greatest ally. I don't believe that to be true. That's like a friend saying, I'm your greatest friend, Wayne. Let's say that friend's name is the first letter of the alphabet, A for Adam. Adam, how can you say you're my greatest friend? I haven't seen you since high school. Yeah, Wayne, but I'm still your greatest friend. Well, what did you do for me? Well, technically, I never did anything for you, Wayne, in high school either. But I'm still your greatest friend. How often did we hang out? Well, we never actually hung out either. But I'm still your greatest friend. Technically, you're not. You didn't clock any hours with me. We didn't have any bro time. We didn't do things together. We might have been in the same class and maybe you sat next to me, but that doesn't make you my greatest ally. And it doesn't make you my greatest friend. We were just in the same class together. Hey, Charles. Good morning. Good afternoon. Afternoon for Charles. I'm going to be on the kill stream at 2:30 my time, 5:30 Eastern. Yeah. My friend Rick super pissed me off today. I'm going to read you what he wrote me because it's just fucking nuts. I'll read you what I wrote him first. Rick writes to me, "Wow, I want to say thank you again for your insight, but the reality is that you are full of crap." Is what he's saying to me. That's Brian. Let me tell you I'm streaming. All right. So Rick says to me, he says, "Wayne, wow, I want to say thank you again for your insight, but the reality is that you're full of crap." Actually, I'll show it to you. We can read this together. You can see that I'm making a good effort to be logical with this guy. "When you contradict yourself, you sin upon yourself, which is the greatest sin. Be impeccable with your words." I say, "You constantly try to put me down. I don't live in the middle of nowhere. I live on the same planet as you do. Your shit stinks as much as mine." "More than happy to listen to you," is what he says. I said, "I've already invested 5 weeks of your over talking me. I'm done with your vamp. I'm done. You're a vampire and I have no more blood for you. I'm willing to help you relay messages to Lisa when the time comes." He says, "I'm open to talking and sharing and listening, but texting is too easily misconstrued." I said, "Actually, you're gaslighting me. Text is the perfect place to be impeccable with our words. It's also accountability for our actions, something narcissists hate." Rick, trust is something friends have, and I don't trust you. You committed a crime. You're not remorseful. You're happy you pushed Lisa to injury. She's now suffering even more from your abuse. My advice, I have none. It would be like talking to a rock and expecting an answer. Everything is lost in you. You project that Lisa is at fault. Be honest be honest for the first time. What's your role in the felony? You touched her and it caused her injury. You told her your daughter to suck your dick. You did this. They didn't do it to you. If Lisa had assaulted you, things would be turned around. Yet that isn't the case. You lost. You lost the case. You lost your mind. You lost your credibility. You haven't lost your life yet, but if you don't turn things around, you'll likely die on the streets of alcoholism. Somehow you need to rebuild your life. Maybe reach out to clients of Newport Beach who you did work for. Maybe they will help you. You did work for all the rich, influential people you constantly brag about. Now's the time to call in a favor. You don't know until you try. Previously, I did mention that I was retracting my offer to shelter you and loan you a car, and cannot help you because you have hurt me too much with all your digs on my success in life. You basically call me a loser. So how can a loser successfully help someone as great and powerful as you? I can't. I have nothing that can help you. As you stated, I'm scum and worthless, living in a shack in the desert. Pond scum to you. Where does that leave us? I can only be a channel of your communication to Lisa. My old friend told me once, if you're smiling when you write something, you probably shouldn't send it. Lastly, reach out to AA for help and a place to live. Dial 211 information. They can help. How to call 211? Pick up the phone and dial 211. It's that easy. He says to me, "I think you are fun and interesting, fun to listen to and hear, but I think that most people would think that you are a nut job or something they can't identify with." End of story. And I told him, "I don't care what you think or anybody else. I'm my own man. I foolishly tried to help you, and you have been rude to me. I'm not going to help you, Rick. You're a sociopath, a real criminal. You have no empathy for the pain and suffering you cause because you're a sociopath. I'm going to distance myself from you." That's the best I got. Like, this guy he doesn't see any wrong in assaulting his wife. And now she's got a 3-year restraining order. He ruined his life. He let his anger get the best of him. and he's basically living a lie. If he would just admit that he was wrong and be remorseful, then he could start rebuilding his life. But since he's living in lies, he's living in a fantasy. He's fucking crazy. He's also I did it to myself. He's a vampire. He's an emotional vampire, sucking the life out of me. I thought I could help this guy, but I can't. It's kind of frustrating. Enough of that. Let's go to some other stuff here. This is regarding Trump. It says judge in mass firing case orders Trump administration to reinstate probationary federal workers across multiple agencies. I think I'm just mad at Trump. He's definitely turned things upside down. Well, he didn't stop the war, which I thought he could, and then I didn't expect him to bring down prices, and he isn't. Luckily, fuel is somewhat affordable. I can get $4 diesel. It's a lot better than Biden's $6 diesel. Oh, I want to call out bad behavior from this Nick Fuentes guy. Well, he has a whole show on politics like he's the authority on good ideas. Well, shouldn't he be running for political office? Well, he couldn't because he was young, but now he's of age. So if he's not going to run for political office, he's just like a sports fan yelling at the TV, throw the ball, throw the ball. Like, he's not anybody. Charles says, Wayne, he's been in office for 2 months. Yeah, you're talking about Trump. Yeah. Well, he did say, I will end the war in Ukraine on the first day. I didn't make that up. That's what Trump said. So. Doge was auditing all these different things, but they're not auditing the Pentagon. They haven't audited Fort Knox. They talked about abolishing the Federal Reserve. What about that? What about Trump prosecuting people who've been breaking the law? Like all the people how about the 30 intelligence agencies who falsified the Russia claims? He pulled their security clearance. Well, they committed treason. They should be held accountable for what they did. He's not going to do any of that because Israel. Trump wants to give tariffs to everybody. Well, it's just going to lower whatever international things we buy are just going to be more expensive. I think I'm nearly out of things to talk about. Oh, it's been 350 hours since Pam Bondi gave a 24-hour deadline to release the Epstein files. Yeah, look at that. Trump says he's innocent of Epstein. He didn't like the guy. He knew the guy was a creep. So what's the risk in releasing those files? There is no risk. Trump to invoke the Alien Enemies Act of 1798 to quickly speed up mass deportations. Think about the cost of the deportations. Like if we turned those people into citizens, well, they would provide tax revenue, and they would be able to be productive citizens eventually, most likely. But instead, we're getting rid of them and sending them back to where they came from. And also, as Trump built the wall, he could put up chain link fence, man. He could just put up chain link fence. Pennies. Cost hardly anything. It's only 1,400 miles of chain link fence and some barbed wire. That would be a good start. Put up some video surveillance system to monitor any incursions. But he's not doing that. Again, I want to be positive. And also, I haven't done my part here. I was going to open up my ideas for Trump. I haven't got that going yet. I think I'm going to put up a threaded discussion group like PHP, bulletin board PHP, something like that. One of those robust threaded discussion groups. Well, here's something positive. Trump administration pushing to eliminate taxes for individuals earning less than $150,000. That would make him look really good. Here's an interesting landing craft from China. It is really impressive. I'm going to show you. They were calling it mulberry harbors, which were the mulberry harbors were these floating things that they used in the D-Day invasion. So like the ship is way out here, and then it can dock, and then it's got a road so they can drive the stuff right to the shore, which is pretty impressive. And these three ships combined make a pier. That's amazing. It's on these sticks, these stilts. That is a really impressive design. Well, we're going to call this a day. 23 minutes. Yeah, I'm just out of ideas right now. It's raining a little bit here. My iPhone is supposed to come today also, so that'll. And my laptop box is at the post office, so I'll probably drive down there and. I do have a Discord, but like I haven't even been there in a few weeks. It's not. There's nothing active going on there. Hans. I'll post a link to my Discord here in a few minutes. Okay. So Hans, thanks for being here. Charles, thanks for being here. Raisin, thanks for being here. CGI Seagulls, thanks for being here. And thank you for your support on Twitter. Raisin, thanks for being here. All right. Bye-bye, friends. I'll maybe see you tonight. Also, the kill stream at 5:30 Eastern time.